American Express is on attack mode, and this is good for us. Today we're going to look at 2 Bonvoy offers that are very competitive and also a rumor about the Platinum Card. As always, there's going to be a chapters tool, and big favor from you guys is to give this a thumbs up because it really helps with the algorithm. Let's start off with the Bonvoy Brilliant, and we actually have an end date for the offer, which is May 12th of 2021. So you have quite a bit of time to decide whether this is a fit, but I think it's pretty competitive. You're going to get 125,000 points and also a $200 statement credit towards dining for $5,000 in minimum spend within the first 3 months. On the low end, if you value the points at 0.8 cents per point, then you're getting about $1,200 in value, about 24% return on your spend. On the higher end, you can get pretty aggressive, but I think 1 cent per point is pretty fair. You're going to get $1,450 in value, which is 29% return on spend. Anything outside of that range is also fine, really just depends on you and how you value those points. There is a $450 annual fee that's not waived, but for most people it's going to make sense. It's going to actually be a keeper card. So with the $450 for every card member year, you're going to get a $300 credit that's going to be eligible towards Marriott properties. This isn't an incidental credit, it's not resorts, it's not anything weird. It's something that you can use at pretty much any Marriott property. So $450 minus $300, the effective annual fee is $150. If you want to be super pedantic, feel free to discount that, do some additional math, but I think that makes a lot of sense. So in year 1, effective annual fee of $150 in order to get the intro bonus. In year 2 and onwards, it gets pretty interesting because for every subsequent year after the first one, so at the 12-month mark, 24 and onwards, you're going to get an anniversary night. For the Bonvoy Brilliant, it's an anniversary night that you can use at properties that are up to 50,000 points per night. So for year 2 and onwards, you're effectively paying $150 in order to get that certificate. The question being, do you get more value from that certificate or do you struggle to get value? Technically, if you can get at least $150 in value, then it's going to make sense because you get gold status with the card and you also get 15 elite status nights. So the 15 nights are not nights that you can use somewhere, they're nights towards status, but it's still pretty helpful, and especially if you're getting value from the card anyways and it makes sense, it's just a cherry on top. Let's do a real life example because I think that's always helpful. Right now, I'm looking to not really travel internationally until everything opens back up, but I'm looking to go to Miami. Looking at some options, we have the JW Marriott at 30,000 points, and this is going to retail for $341. The W is 50,000 points at $378, JW Marquise is 50,000 points, $374, and Autograph Property is 50,000 points and $386. Even the Ritz for this state is 50,000 points, and that's $430 normally. So that certificate works for any of these properties, and for me it's a pretty big win because I'm paying $150 for something that I would have otherwise paid $300 for. Another benefit of certificate and points is that you get to avoid a lot of the dumb fees. So if you were to book this with cash, you can see that there's taxes. So for the Ritz, it's not really $430, it's $485 in total. On the flip side, if you use a certificate, there's no additional taxes. Same thing with points, there's no taxes, there's no additional fees. Even outside of the Marriott Bonvoy program, if you want to look into other ones, you're going to see this issue compound when you want to stay at resorts because a lot of them have additional fees for that. To me, the Bonvoy Brilliant is a keeper card, and this is one of the best intro bonuses that we've seen for the card. The Bonvoy Business also has an offer that ends on May 12th, and this is going to be 100,000 points and also a $150 statement credit. The benefit here though is that the $150 statement credit is not specifically for dining. At 0.8 cents per point, that's going to be $950 in value, about 19% return on spend. At 1 cent per point, that's going to be $1,150 in value, 23% return on spend. In terms of annual fees, it's going to be $125. You get silver status of Bonvoy program, and you also get 15 elite qualifying nights. Again, these are not nights that you can actively use, these are nights towards status. You also get a certificate here, but it's only going to be up to 35,000 points instead of the 50,000 from the Bonvoy Brilliant. So $125 effective annual fee for a 35K certificate versus $150 effective annual fee for a 50K certificate. It's still valuable, but it just really depends on how you travel and where you want to go. Going back to the Miami example, it's going to be the JW Marriott at 30,000 points, which retails at $341. Again, if I'm willing to pay $200, $300 for this anyways, and instead I'm paying an annual fee of $125, that makes sense to me, it works out really well. On that note, if you want to learn about these cards and you want to support the channel, we have links on our website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. As always, thank you guys so much for the support. Let's jump over to the Platinum rumors. So I initially didn't want to cover this because it didn't feel that substantive, but a lot of people kept asking me over on Instagram about this, and I figured I'd just make a video. Side note, follow our Instagram, AskSebby. We'll look into the rumor, the case against it, the case for it, and what I would do. This rumor was posted a few days ago on March 16th over on Flyer Talk by a new user. Per the rumor, the annual fee is going to increase in Q3, so July 2021, for new people signing up for the card. If you're someone who currently has an account, then it's going to renew in January 2022 with that new annual fee. The new fee is likely $695, but also could be $745 or $795. Basically a $145 to $245 increase from the current $550. The interesting bit is that they're going to turn the card from a travel card to having more lifestyle benefits. This part's the pretty interesting bit to me and the one that starts to not make sense. So why shouldn't we pay attention to this? Number one is that this is a new user. I could go on Flyer Talk right now and say that the annual fee for the Centurion card is going to increase to, let's say, $20,000 and that they're going to offer a private jet membership. Maybe there's going to be a new card, maybe it's going to be called a Trailblazer card. If there was a screenshot or something else to go off of, then I think it would be a lot easier to understand, but right now it's just some text that anyone could write. For all you know, it's me writing it in order to make content for YouTube, which would be a very meta strategy. Number two, the Platinum card has always been travel focused. When you think about the core value prop of the Platinum card, it's going to be the Fine Hotel and Resorts program, as well as Centurion lounges. When people talk about the benefits of the Platinum card, that's mostly what they're talking about. Multipliers are great, there's other cards that have really great multipliers, but people get the Platinum for the benefits. They can move away from this, it's not like they can't, but it feels like it's going to destroy brand equity. When you're known for something and then you dramatically do a shift, it just doesn't really make sense. You're going to leave a sour taste in people's mouth. Imagine if I went away from talking about expected value, return on spend, and started talking about how shiny a card is. Yo guys, you should really get the Platinum card because it's really shiny and looks really cool. Let's flex on them. Number three is that they finally added trip delay protection to their cards, and this was one of the most requested features. They ended up adding this benefit a year ago in order to take market share away from Chase, so it doesn't seem like it would make sense for them to suddenly remove this and take it away and not become a travel card. To be fair, I can't see them adding lifestyle benefits as well as increasing the annual fee, but moving away from travel, that bit just doesn't make sense to me. So what are some reasons why American Express would be doing this? Number one is that the money printer is on. If they're actively printing money, then the dollar that you have right now is going to be worth less. It might not affect American Express that much, but they can use this as a justification to increase the annual fee. And if you can toss someone under the bus while doing it, then it works really well. Factor in that their target audience is relatively price agnostic, means that they probably don't mind paying that fee. The second reason is that it makes a lot of financial sense. So if you look at all the credits that the Platinum card has, the one that stands out is going to be the travel incidental credit. The reason it stands out is because it's the one that American Express is footing the bill for. So whenever you use it, American Express is losing out. If you compare this to the Saks and the Uber credit, we don't really know what the arrangement is, but either American Express is paying pennies on the dollar for it, or it's the brand footing the bill. So let's imagine you're American Express. You don't really want to pay that $200 anymore because you don't need to, and you can find other brands to do that. What brands have been struggling in 2020? AMC is a pretty good one, but it doesn't really fit with the Platinum card. But what about something like Ticketmaster? If Ticketmaster doesn't or can't work with you due to other arrangements, then there's a lot of other vendors that are exactly the same. What about something like the NBA? They're already one of the major sponsors for them, and it just makes a lot of sense. Also factor in that there's a bunch of other fringe benefits related to the NBA, such as the Jersey Assurance program.
Introducing American Express Jersey Assurance.
So say your favorite player's in Orlando, and then when he goes to Hollywood, you have Jersey Assurance.
Genius.
Number three is that it makes a lot of competitive and business sense. When we think about credit cards and how they earn points, we think about dining, we think about groceries, we think about travel, maybe some specific hotels or other brands, but we don't really think about entertainment. The only major competition there is going to be Citi, and if they offer this as a category, then that changes the game. When you think about the Platinum card's likely user personas, I'm thinking about Henrys and Dinkies. High earners, not rich yet, and also dual income, no kids yet. American Express generally isn't trying to make money collecting interest. They're trying to make it on the annual fee up front and also on transaction fees. This pretty much means that they want people who are willing to pay for that annual fee, who don't really mind paying $500, and who also spend a lot of money on the card. So what would SEBI do? I'd probably wait for additional information or reconsider this in June. Right now, there's just not enough stuff. There's not any leaked memo. There's not any blurry pictures. Just give me something that's beyond text. If anything, I would use this opportunity to keep checking Card Match and hopefully get an increased offer. So if you can get something like a $125K offer, even if this change doesn't happen, the annual fee doesn't increase, then you're still getting a very good deal. Within this hobby, especially for American Express, patience is a pretty big thing. On that note, if you want to check Card Match to see if you have that increased offer, even if you're already a customer, I'll leave a link down to that below. Again, thank you guys so much for the support. My question for you guys is, what are your thoughts on the Bonvoy offers? And if you were to get those points, if you were to sign up for those cards and get those certificates, where would you use them? I'm pretty much itching to travel, so I would love to get your thoughts. In terms of the platinum rumors, what do you think is true and what would you want to see of the card? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you know anyone else who benefit, share this with them. Will probably help them out, but otherwise, hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time.